What's up sa inyo mga pamangkikers? Good afternoon! Parang nasa radyo lang, no? May pa-background music pa. Parang parang Aaron lang. Gaya ginagawa ni Aaron na mag-mute. Tapos papasok. Mag-mute, papasok. Ayan. So, kamusta kayo dyan mga pamangkikers? Third day of the general community quarantine. At sana lahat kayo hindi pa nahihirapan sa inyong biyahe kung kayo man ay pumapasok kung saan. And yun, welcome to another episode of Hashtag Eat, Sleep, Breathe Football with Tito J and the Aningan Gang. Maya-maya introduce natin sila. Sa ngayon, kamusta? Like this video, share this video, or kung ano man trip nyong gawin, go, go, go lang. Welcome to the podcast sa mga bago. This is Tito J, ang Tito Mong Football Vlogger. Nagkaroon tayo ng update sa ating profile. Nagpalit tayo ng isang letra dahil oo nga naman, hindi na tayo nagsusulat. At ayun, so anyway, I hope everything is doing well. Gusto ko lang din ipaabot syempre yung ating pakikisalamu or pagtulong sa or pag-recognize sa ating mga kaibigan dyan sa US. I understand things are really tough out there. So hopefully matapos na ang problema nyo. But don't worry, we stand with you. The entire footballing world, actually the entire sporting world is with you sa ongoing protest out there. And once again, I don't want to get political, but once again, all lives matter. As of the moment, Black Lives Matter, sabi nga nila. Um, Yun. So, wala nang masyadong kung ano-ano man. Tayo muna ipupunta sa ating mga balita bago natin simulan ang ating programa ngayong araw. So, it's like 3 weeks na or almost a month that the Bundesliga is back in action. And European club football is coming back into life. Ika nga, after the successful resumption of the Bundesliga, eto na. Magsisimula na ang ibang liga. Starting off with La Liga. Ang La Liga, nagkaroon na sila ng green light or the Spanish government gave their go signal for La Liga to resume on June 11. Clubs have begun their full group training last June 1st, which marked the fourth step of La Liga's return to football protocol in coordination with the Spanish High Sports Council. So, bilang pagbabalik nila sa football, nagkaroon sila ng apat actually na steps sa kanilang return to football protocol. First is yung testing ng kanilang mga players. Then afterwards, they go into individual trainings, then into small groups training, and then their usual group training. And then afterwards, they go to the game itself. So, exciting news para sa ating mga kaibigan na nag-aabang ng La Liga. Let's head over to the UK as the English Premier League gets their go signal as well from their government. The English Premier League has been given the green light to resume their league on June 17 after a 3-month hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The United Kingdom government has permitted the return of competitive sport behind closed doors, giving the Premier League a collective sigh of relief. They have scheduled 2 matches on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays while putting 4 matches during the weekend. So, isang exciting news din para sa ating mga taga-subaybay na naghihintay ng football news all around the world. So, 2 more European top-tier football leagues are about to resume in a few weeks' time. And, syempre, hindi naman dapat natin kalimutan ang sarili nating liga, which is the Philippines Football League. Gaya nga na napag-usapan the last podcast with Sir Nonong Araneta, they've already came up with the protocols, and as of the moment, football may come back sooner than we expected as the Philippine Football Federation already submitted its return to football protocols to the government's Interagency Task Force for Emerging Infectious Disease or IATF for evaluation approval. In a statement released on their website, the PFF said they will work closely with various government agencies for the gradual return of football by starting with the resumption of the professional league under strict health and safety protocols as may be approved by the concerned national government agencies. So yan ang ating mga balita sa ngayon with the Philippines and all around the world. Sa ngayon, Eto na, sasamahan na tayo ng ating mga kaibigan. Let's welcome the Aningan Gang. Here we go. That's Miss Saiza Cabanlong on my left side from Dugout PH, Dugout Philippines. Bottom side, Sir Aaron Bayato. And of course, all the way from Bacolod, Mr. Travis Scott himself, John 11 Gozon. Kamusta kayong mga kaibigan natin dyan? I-unmute na natin isa-isa ang inyong mga mic.
Status ko pa rin kami dito sa Sports Radio or Radio Pilipinas 2. Hindi pa rin kami ere pero online pa rin. And of course, syempre, shoutout sa mga kababayan natin na nahihirapan na mag-commute sa work. So, thank you very much for listening. Kung na-stress kayo sa government, hindi kayo may stress sa amin.
Ayun, thank you so much, Aaron. Bago tayo pumunta kay Onse, mga pamangkikers, pasensya na, ito na naman ako. Nakalimutan ko na naman i-open yung mic ng ating grupo. So, Tita Sai, gusto kang kamustahin ng iyong kasama sa podcast, si Jonas. Kamusta ka daw ulit? At, yun nga, kwento mo lang ulit yung sinabi mo kanina. Ito na naman tayo.
um, yeah, as mentioned earlier, hi Jonas. Balik Ultimate Fan Hub podcast ng lola nyo. We stream every Friday night at 8 p.m. Pero baka madagdagan kami ng stream date. So just stay tuned. Yeah, Masters Adelphine on the show on Friday.
Ayan.
And yun, ulit, salamat
Tanaw mo
today
siguro,
kasi may storya ako.
Yun, thank you, Tita Sai. At ito, puntahan natin, medyo mukhang masaya yung lugar, kung nasaan siya, 11. Asan ka ba ngayon? Ano bang ginagawa mo ngayon?
ano lang, nagmamanyanita. Manyanita sa haba. Para
Sir,
safe na.
sir, delikado yan ha. Wag masyadong enjoy naman yan nito. Baka mayari tayo.
Kaya,
Bigla may
andito ako sa ano,
storya
sa Hindi, andito ako sa ano, kapitbahay, may goal post, may training upang drills na goals. Bumisita lang sa ano, sa isang kaibigan.
Ayun.
So far dito okay naman. Muling ano, unti-unti nang bumabalik yung kung ano yung dati dito sa Bacolod. Tapos ano ba nag-operate na yung ano, first ever molecular laboratory sa
Mhm.
Negros Occidental, which can process and test possible COVID cases. So congratulations sa provincial hospital namin. And so far so good.
Yan, balita ko kayong araw ang sample or example daw sa pag-handle nitong crisis na to. But nevertheless, at least
Ay,
we're seeing several LGUs na gumagawa ng hakbang para dito. Tsaka ayun, yun nga, sana matapos na to para hindi na tayo namang problema. At siguro nagtataka kayo kung bakit nakaganto si Tito J. Huwag nyo na lang munang isipin kung bakit nakasalamin si Tito J. Nagpapagaling yung aking mata. Na. Huwag nyo akong i-judge. Yun lang. Yun lang, huwag nyo akong i-judge.
makasalanang mata.
Mga makasalanang Huwag nyo po akong i-judge. May mga langgam po kasi sa paligid or ipis na pwedeng or tsaka yung init, alam mo yun, ayoko na mag-explain, basta wag nyo na lang ako i-judge, yun na lang yun. um, So, bago tayo mag-start sa ating
Madaming factor.
maraming factor. So, bago tayo mag-start sa ating interview today, we have two special parts or segments of this program. One is our interview with the Azkals manager, Sir Dan Palami, and our second segment of the show, or our second part, is basically reunion ko lang sa aking mga players dyan sa Santo Cristo Football Club who are celebrating the 6th year anniversary of their grassroots football program. So, bago natin puntahan yung mga yan, I'd like to give some quick shout outs to Claire Almarines Bacolod, top fan, dalawang top fan nang nagko-comment. Sorry kung hindi naka-on ng mic ni Sai kanina at ng ating gang. Si Alerion, Fuerte. Akala ko masyado lang nasilaw. Oo, masyado lang ako nasisilaw kasi for those of you who don't know, medyo nagkakaroon na ulit ng trabaho si Tito. Graveyard shift. So, bukas ang ilaw sa gabi. Actually, pinapatay ko kapag bored ako. Pero problema is nakatutok naman ako sa monitors ko and yun nga. Siguro baka isang factor din yun. Anyway, what else do we have for today? Oh, bago ko nga pala makalimutan sa mga kaibigan natin na naghahanap ng jerseys out there, Jersey Dior is back in action. Ayan, oh, makikita nyo sa inyong screens. Nagbabalik na sila. Ninong, hello. Ayan, shout out sa'yo. So, you can drop by the Society 8 Concept Stores in Taft, sa tapat ng De La Salle University, and also they have one in España, Manila. So, kung gusto nyo makabili ng quality jerseys or kits, just visit Jersey Dior's Facebook page, as you can see. And also, we want to, let you know as well na hindi naman tumigil ang kanilang shipping. So, yun nga. Ayun. Maraming maraming salamat, Jersey Dior, for sponsoring Tito again, again and again and again and again. So, ayun. Bago tayo mag-istoryahan, shoutouts ulit. Franklin Evan Francisco, teammate ko to dati sa Quezon City na naglalaro sa UMAC. Shoutout sa inyo. Yun. Uh, Base sa mga balita na nakalap natin today sa Aaron and Once with the La Liga, with the Premier League, and also yung ating Philippines Football League na malapit na siguro mag-start since na send na, or nabigay na nila sa IATF ang kanilang protocols. Let's start off with you, Sai. Anong tingin mo rito? Gaano ka na-excite or ano yung pakiramdam mo na meron ng mga ganitong movement ang Philippine Football Federation?
Sobrang, teka, nakamute na ba? Nakamute pa ba ako?
Hindi. Hindi na. Okay na. Okay na.
Well, sobrang excited, of course. For us who loves football very much, this is a very positive news for us. The positive that we really want, ha? Hindi yung positive na coronavirus. But yeah, this is all the more exciting kasi syempre, parang mas lalong papalapit ng papalapit yung ating liga. Kahit na may mga protocols tayong dapat sundin once it comes back, you just can't help kasi isa-isa na sila. Una yung Bundesliga, now it's La Liga, then the Premier League has also given green light to their league na kahit parang mas-shorten into 5 weeks, I think.
Mhm.
So, very positive news yung dumadating. So, it makes me all the more excited na, shit, palapit na ng papalapit sa Pilipinas ang pagbabalik ng football.
Yun. Actually, sobrang nakaka-excite nga kasi yun nga, ang tagal din nating hinintay. The last action that we had was Ceres versus Bali, tama? And tayo-tayo lang yung magkakasama noon. Ikaw, ako, ito si Aaron. Itong buong gang na to, tayo lang yung magkakasama sa stadium. And we were feeling the moment of uncertainties ng anong araw na yun. But I think it's getting closer and closer and closer. Ikaw naman, Aaron, on, siguro kayo kasi meron kayo mas malalim na perspective dito since you're working as well with the government and all or kung ano man. Ano sa tingin mo yung chances siguro natin na magbalik na ang football dito sa Pilipinas amidst this pandemic?
Mhm. At the moment kasi, well, kahapon, makwento ko lang mabilisan yung PSA forum na kung saan sinabi ni POC President Abraham Tolentino na bagamat they will recommend it to the IATF, personally, sinabi niya, not representing POC, medyo malabo. Gayunpaman, given that there are some steps naman na ginagawa sa sarili-sariling protocol yung mga leagues, including itong Philippines Football League, I hope na maging dito makikita yung maayos sa pag-scrutinize of everyone na involved kung ano-ano yung mga protocol na yun. At siguro tayo as journalists and fans, we will be strictly observing paano ma-execute yung mga protocols na gagawin ng Philippines Football League na bagamat hindi man at par with sa mga napanood natin sa Bundesliga, sa La Liga, sa Premier League, at least we can do yung pinaka-best natin para ma-maintain yung health and safety ng mga stakeholders, ng fans, clubs, ng players and coaches. And of course, maging smooth at matuloy yung pagdaos ng 2020 season ng PFL.
Thank you so much for your thoughts, Sir Aaron, which is very important nga naman. We've heard Sir Nonong Araneta saying na yun nga, safety of the players pa rin ang ating priority bago mag-start ang league. Now, lastly, with you, Onse, I know this is gonna be difficult on a fan's perspective, given the fact na siguro hindi mo napapayagan ng fans sa loob ng stadium, but how do you feel na ito na nga, medyo nagkakaroon na ng kulay na malapit na siguro magbalik ang football dito sa atin?
Well, sobrang excited na rin kasi after nung napanood ko yung episode with Sir Nonong na sinabi niya probably by July daw
Mhm.
pwede na magbalik yung liga. So doon parang na-excite ako at saka parang nabuhayan uli yung loob ba na amidst the things that are going on right now. The PFL are doing something, I mean, making some protocols para matuloy yung liga this year. And this gives hope para sa mga football fans na na may football ulit. Though na parang mag-adjust or mahihirapan pa yung ibang fans kasi most likely hindi siya open para sa public. But
Mhm.
then again, knowing na pabalik na yung football, sobrang excited at masaya
Mhm.
ako
Yeah.
personally.
And personally, lahat naman tayo siguro masaya na ito na nga nagbabalik na nga ang football or may chance na nga na magbalik ang football. It's just that we have to deal with certain circumstance like not having the fans inside the stadium or limited capacity kasi open naman ang PFF base nga sa sinabi ni Sir Nonong last time. They're open to having the fans back at least 50% capacity just like what Vietnam has done in their last few games. Actually, nabalitaan ko rin na ang Thai League, they're considering na magsimula na ulit dahil for the first time in weeks, parang wala na silang cases or wala na nadagdag sa case nila. So, I think it's really a welcoming situation for everyone here in Southeast Asia na yun nga, may movements na ang mga federations dito, especially that we have big tournaments coming up like the Suzuki Cup. I don't know if it's still gonna push through by the end of the year. We have World Cup and Asian Cup qualifiers, which is kind of important para sa ating lahat, considering that we had our debut last year sa Dubai and hopefully we can have another one sa susunod na Asian Cup. So, before 5 minutes or 10 minutes before 6, which is our scheduled interview with the big boss, Dan Palami, meron pa ba kayong mga gustong ipa-shout out? Ikaw, Onse, may gusto ka ba ipa-shout out dyan?
Happy birthday kay Sir Jeff Lumugdang, coach ng isang grassroots football club dito, yung Ronins United. Birthday niya ngayon. Happy birthday, coach. Also kay Sir Agapito, papapa-shoutout siya. Shoutout sa.
Mhm. Ikaw, Sir Aaron, may papa-shoutout ka ba?
Sino ba? Wala naman. I just want to say hi sa nagpa-follow sa It's Liquid Football, of course, sa Ultimate Fan Hub Podcast at sa iba't ibang mga podcast. So keep it up. This podcast kasi helps everyone na kahit papano ma-alleviate yung anxiety natin sa COVID-19. At yun lang. By the way, dahil total, this is an independent group, I just hope na yung mga tropa natin sa uh, mga sports leaders
Mhm.
natin
Mm. Sir Aaron!
will have
Ayan.
the wisdom hopefully mga sports at yung na pag ng iba't ibang mga leagues para nga hindi magkakaroon
Break mo
ng
na break.
disgrasya
Balik
pag
mo din.
bumalik yung mga iba't ibang liga. Yun lang po.
Ayun. And Tita Sai, ikaw, papa-shoutout ka pa?
Siyempre, shoutout ko lang si Jonas at si Jordan.
Yan.
I'll see you guys on Friday. Tsaka syempre yung mga nakikinig at nanonood ng Eat, Sleep, Breathe Football. Mag-enjoy sana kayo sa aming guest host for this afternoon. For sure marami kayong matututunan.
Yun. Ako, bago tayo magpunta sa break, i-shoutout ko muna to isa-isa. Anton Patenya Santos, watching from Max, Pasay City. Pumapasok na ang ating kaibigan na si Anton. Si Zandro Tuason, pa-shoutout ng Villamore FC Otits. Gracias. Oh, shoutout sa iyo dyan. Sino ba ba? Shoutout kay Sir Dennis Balbin of Tondo FC na nanonood sa ating podcast. And of course, to my lovely special someone out there na nanonood. Hello. I miss you. See you soon. Love you. Love you, Mal.
I,
Yeah.
you know,
Ang harot ko na naman. So, yun. Sa pag... Ayan. Alam ko nanonood ka. So, kung nasa ka man, stay safe. Ingat sa pag-uwi. Magkikita tayo ulit. Yun.
Sana all.
So, we head into our break at pagbalik natin, makakasama na natin ang big boss ng Philippine Azkals, si Sir Dan Palami. Dito lang yan sa hashtag Eat, Sleep, and Breathe Football. Okay, break muna tayo. Welcome back to the show, mga pamangkikers. And right now is the moment that we have all been waiting for. We're very privileged to have another special guest in our podcast, Eat, Sleep, Breed Football. Hope you're still enjoying the show. Without further ado, let's all welcome the Azkals team manager, Sir Dan Palami. Good afternoon, Sir Dan. Kamusta po kayo? And how are you, sir?
Fine. It's been a long 2.5 years, and really there's been a lot of uh, time to reflect. But you know, somehow I'm just glad that I'm still COVID free right now, and looking forward to uh, discussions on football this afternoon, tonight, and yeah. So can't wait for you guys to fire questions. Let's see how we can get everybody informed about what's happening on my side of football.
Right, thank you so much, Sir Dan. Now, this is something that has been circulating before or actually during the lockdown, but there were news actually that um, apparently the Philippine Ascals are gonna get another boost of in terms of another sponsor. Um, were you able to actually let them know already what's gonna be the role that they're gonna be playing in the national team, or how are they gonna play a part in the Ascals in the coming years?
No, I think without having to name names,
Sure.
it was really very unfortunate. I mean, I think it's a free for all discussion. It is really very unfortunate that with the lockdown and all, with this ECQ and GCQ,
Hmm.
the discussions on the matter and the signing of the agreement was which was, I'd like to think, about a few days away had to be postponed
Mhm.
until after. And of course, from that time until now, somehow, I mean, the world has changed, and possibly uh, the views on football and the rest of the sporting activities might have changed as well. So, but the good thing is, last time I talked to our sponsors, they were saying, let's meet as soon as the GCQ is lifted, which means, yeah, we're still interested in the whole thing. I mean, maybe some parameters might have changed and some involvement might have changed, but generally, I think the interest is still there, and that's a good thing for Philippine football because, I mean, for the past years, it's been a solo flight with some assistance from Sir Nono in PFF, plus some subsidies coming from AFC and FIFA when it comes to tournaments. But otherwise, the entry of a new sponsor would really be be a boost for the Azkals. And if the Azkals perform well, football in the country as well, somehow, I mean, it cascades. The effects of that cascades to up to the kids who would want to be Azkals in the future. So, yeah, we are still optimistic, and I think the indications show that there is continued interest coming from our sponsors. So, I'm happy about that.
And we're really happy to hear as well that, even or despite this pandemic that we are currently facing, they haven't lost all hope with the national team program or Philippine football in general. And we're really wanting to see what they can offer or how things will go after the GCQ, or once you start negotiating again for this one. Now, Boston, you mentioned that the world has actually changed. We have noticed as well that Philippine football has changed dramatically over the last 10 years. 10 years into the miracle in Hanoi, wherein you were actually there and we saw you really jubilant after we got that win against Vietnam, which revived Philippine football, if I may say. What can you say about the status or the progress of Philippine football?
Well, to be honest, I would have expected football to have to have been more uh, developed by this time. But it you know I understand we are not a footballing community,
Mhm.
and had that happened in a country where football is the number one sport, we would already be reaping the benefits. But even then, from where we were in 2010, where after our win against Vietnam, we had to play a semifinals game in Indonesia,
Mhm.
to now where there are a lot of pitches, for example, that where we can that had been established since then. Uh, it's I think there's been a significant development in football already since then. Uh, at that time, I remember uh, the best place that we could actually do our practices was in UMAC
Mhm.
when they had their grass pitch, and a few years after, when most of the players were coming from higher division leagues. I mean, for the Azkals, I mean, UMAC became an unacceptable place to practice because of the quality of the pitch. I mean, it wasn't up to par. So, I mean, you compare that now with the choices that you have uh, 10 years after, I think the change is really dramatic. But are we at par, or are we comparable to other countries? I mean, let's just say in Southeast Asia.
Mm.
I mean, we are still far behind in terms of infrastructure. And it's the miracle actually is that despite that, we've been able to perform really well, both at the national team and club level, despite sorry, despite the disparity in the infrastructure between Philippines and the rest of, even just our Southeast Asian neighbors, where we lag behind. But we're we're doing well uh, in terms of performance at the national team level and club level.
Right. Thank you, boss. I think that's still an ongoing debate. We're in. Have we really got this improvement 10 years after we got the miracle in Hanoi? But you clearly stated that we have, in terms of skills, let's say the level of competition, yes, we really are getting there. We're really getting competitive against nations like Vietnam, Malaysia, like Thailand. We're getting there. That the competition is getting stiffer and stiffer every time we face them. But I think as well, like what you mentioned, infrastructure really is something that that has to play a part in it. However, with all of this being said, Boss Dan, do you think in the next, say, for example, 4 5 years, would you think the Philippines can uh, shoot for the stars and possibly get at least a World Cup spot, you know, on our wildest dreams?
Yeah, well, to put it in perspective, I mean, before, uh, when I took over the Azkals in 2010,
Mm-hmm.
we had a game against Chinese Taipei, Taiwan, January of 2010.
Mm-hmm.
After a few weeks of practice together, we went to Taiwan to play a friendly against them, and we drew them. And actually, at that time, because I was there, uh, it was it was considered a really good performance coming from our national team to have drawn with Chinese Taipei in a friendly, and we had a chance to score. That was success then. That was defined as success at that time. But you do that now, we're going to be bashed by a lot of fans and by a lot of football supporters here in the Philippines
Mm-hmm.
if you draw against Chinese Taipei without, of course, I mean, putting Chinese Taipei down. I mean, they're a good team, but we're expected. The expectations have been really high, and we're expected to do better. When we went to play in Long Ten Cup, we played Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei, Laos. I think we were expected to play well against them. But we go there now, we would be expected to win. I
Yeah.
mean, when it comes to performance, I think we've improved a lot. And just to put in context the development of the Azkals. But to answer your questions, I mean, I'm in here for that dream, really. I mean, the reason why we spend hundreds of millions in football is because I want to see the Azkals uh, in our wildest dreams, which is to be part of the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask me whether we could expect them to be there, and then my answer is yes, because that's the reason actually why I'm still here. And that's the reason why I've never stopped supporting football, because I know, and especially more than ever now, not just because we have a sponsor, but also and most likely because uh, we have already almost perfected the system And the entry of Coach Scott Cooper has been a really good thing for the Azkals in terms of his experience in AFC Champions League with Buriram,
Hmm.
his experience in uh, getting a comparatively low budget team with Ubon going to double promotion from third division to first division in 2 consecutive years and doing well in those competitions. Somehow it was a good match and a good fit for him to be with a team like Azkals and bringing the team, the national team, to greater heights. Because uh, at the end of the day, it's uh, we need a good mix of ingredients from players, coaches, management, and the federation as well. And I think we are accomplishing that now. It was just very unfortunate because the fruits of that mix could have been witnessed last March 25 when we were supposed to play Guam
Hmm.
here in the Philippines for our home game in the World Cup qualifiers and Asian Cup qualifiers. Unfortunately, we had to and we have to live with the reality of this pandemic. So I suppose we'll have to suspend and delay uh, the fruits of the harvesting of the fruits. But yes, I'm really very optimistic. The players are there. The system is there, and I know because looking at all these years of the team's evolution and progress, this I mean this is way beyond where we've been before. So and I know that we are going to we're going to make waves when it comes to the reopening of football in the Philippines and in Asia for the World Cup qualifier. So I'm as excited as you are
Hmm.
to get this going because Scott and I, even during this whole quarantine period, Coach Scott and I have been planning the things that we will be doing, that we have to do, and uh, we've always been in touch with players to check and give them information on the system that we will be playing, and the new players that are coming in are quite at the level where we've never been before.
Hmm.
Plus the program that we have with our youth, so that the succession plan will be established already from the youth to the senior team. Plus, hopefully, we also continue with the kids with the program that we've submitted to PFF. So yeah, I'm sorry. It's a long answer to a short question, but only because uh, the process has been quite uh, very well planned, and the results. I'm I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, it's really great to hear those insights or basically what we have in stock. Like what you've mentioned, we should have actually experienced uh, what's in store or what Scott Cooper and you have been working on in that match against Guam. But sad to say, we really had to drop that down because of the pandemic. However, um, with all things being said, we're really happy that a long-term plan has been in place already for the future of the Philippine football. And also, I think Coach Scott Cooper is taking on a deeper role with the Philippine Football Federation as the acting technical director. Would you think that this would hinder his role with the senior squad or with the ADT, or how do you think this will pan out for our national team?
No, I think that would be very complementary to his role as the mentor and the coach for the Azkals,
Mm-hmm.
because we would want a homogeneous system to be applied from our kids to the youth to our U23s and to the senior team. And we would want that. And the best way is for us to have somebody who knows what is expected of players coming from the kids, coming from the youth system. If somebody knows what is expected of them and provides a program
Mm-hmm.
that will allow them to actually follow that system until they reach the senior level, I think that would complement the the national team eventually. I mean, for the national team, you don't have games like a club team does, so there's enough time to prepare for that game, and at the same time prepare for uh, football development in the country. So I see that as hitting several birds with one stone
Mm-hmm.
rather than hindrance.
Right. Thank you so much for that, sir. Now, before I get into the other questions that I have for this podcast, let's go ahead and ask the team that we have right now. We have Sir Aaron Bayato of Radyo Pilipinas Dos and Saiza Cabanlong of Dagout Philippines. I'm pretty sure they have a couple of questions for you. Let's start off with Aaron. Sir Aaron, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Tito J. Sir Dan, first of all,
Hello.
we miss you.
Hi,
Miss you, sir.
good to
Hope
see
you're
you
doing well.
even just on the screen. Yeah.
Opo. Right, virtual lang po. Sir, just one question lang po. Um, we're looking good so far bago maudot po yung 2022 FIFA World Cup AFC Asian Cup qualifiers. We're currently po sa third place. Na-mention nyo po previously last year and as well as football pundits and supporters po ng ating Philippine men's football team that it's imperative for us to consistently qualify the Asian Cup after making our debut noong 2019. For you, sir, could you care to elaborate po sa ating sports fans the importance of the Philippines as a country and as a team consistently qualifying Asian Cups moving forward and eventually the World Cup?
Yeah. Well, of course, we've reached several milestones in our journey for the past 10 years. The first milestone being that in 2010. And while people would like to remember that, we've actually reached several milestones already during these past 10 years, including qualification to the Asian Cup, which is more or less the premier tournament for national teams in Asia. Uh, I think we need to establish our presence in Asia as a football country. Nakikita ko naman, and dahil sa experience ko, kahit paano, alam ko na kung anong level. Even before, pag nakikita ko yung team na nag-ensayo, alam ko na kaagad kung how they could compare from the previous teams na nakita ko from 2010 until now. Nakikita ko yung development, and I feel that with the kind of team that we have, with the kind of system that we have, we are in a position to actually impose our presence in the Asian region as a formidable country to reckon with in terms of football. And the very least that we could do with the talent that we have that they are coming in and they are there now, with the system that we have, and with the resources that are going to be made available, the least that we could do is to be part of the Asian Cup. At the very least, kung baga, sa expectations, yun ang minimum. Well, let me just bring you to 2010. I have to go back there because it's a reference for everybody.
Mhm.
Nung sumali, binigay sa akin yung team sa 2000, December 2009. Sinabi sa akin, Dan, gusto mo i-handle ang national team. Before that, pinahandle sa akin ng 2000, sa 2009, 2009, yung under 19 natin na youth team.
Mhm.
Yun ang first exposure ko as manager sa isang national team. Nung binigay sa akin, sabi ko, exciting. Gusto kong maging part nito. And then, nung tinanong ko, okay, kuha tayo ng mga coaches. I mean, pili tayo ng maayos na coach, international, para makita natin yung may experience talaga. Sinabihan ako ng PFF, then, may coach na tayo. Okay. Sige, ayusin natin yung experience, yung player selection para makita natin sinong pinakamaayos dito sa bansa. Sinabihan na rin ako, hindi, may players na tayo. Sabi ko, ang practice session natin, hindi, meron na. Kailangan na lang namin ng tickets papuntang China para sa game.
Mhm.
And then, pambayad ng uniforms at saka ibang ano. Sabi ko, parang hindi yan manager, financial yung kailangan nyo. Pero even then, sabi ko, sige, okay ako. But of course, in fact, dumating yung uniforms namin. Nasa airport na kami. And then when we arrived in China, ang lamig pa, 6 degrees yung game. Yung uniforms ng mga bata, yung normal uniforms, kaya nasa field, nasa pitch, nanginginig at yung reaction delayed. Sabi ko after that debacle, actually naka 1 point tayo doon kasi nag-draw against Guam na marami ring Filipino ancestry na nandun. Naka-draw tayo ng game, 1 point tayo. Sabi ko, ayoko na makialam. When it was given to me in 2010, sabi nila, kunin mo na lang yung Azkals. Sabi ko, hindi ako, ayoko nang makialam kasi alam ko medyo ang hirap mag-ayos ng team kung ganun yung sistema. Sabi nila, yung tournament is still in October, January pa lang yun, at this late December ng 2009. Sabi ko, kung 2010, sige, payag ako, basta walang makikialam akong mag-prepare ng team. That was how Azkals came into being. And then, since then, nakita ko na yung development ng team. Going back to, naputol kaya tayo. and then going back to
Okay
your
lang, sir.
question. Okay na?
Sige, sir.
Okay. Uh, medyo medyo na fine tune na rin natin yung mga requirements ng team, and you could see na we're ready. We're ready the bigger leagues. Kumbaga, all the 10 years behind me and behind the team was just in preparation for what we're going to do now. We've just actually started, and then we're going to go big this time. So I'm ganun ako ka-optimistic, and ganun ako excited to pursue what we think is the level where Philippines should be in terms of Asia. Kasi sa totoo lang, pag nakikita ko, of course, medyo may advantage ako kasi may inside information ako sa mga players na parating, saka sa system na gagamitin, at sa mga sa scouting, at saka in fairness to our coaches, si Coach Scott and his team, in fairness to them, to our coaches, they're doing a lot of scouting. They're doing a lot of scouting na ano talaga, nakakapag-prepare sa atin. So I think yung Asian Cup participation, I feel, should be a minimum for the Philippines.
All right.
Sir Dan, thank you po.